Hello everyone and welcome to our third Java tutorial. Today we're going to go over the basics of data types and also talk about the scanner and getting user input into our program so that we could see what the user is inputting. So what we want to do is once again go over to our Java project that we have over here and get a class going. We could just call this scanner. Oh, and if you don't want to write out the public static void, you could just click on this and Eclipse will just do it for you. So we are back at it once again. So we could just talk about data types. So these are pretty important in Java just to know every data type when you are creating a program so that you don't use as much memory and you want to be as efficient and as quick as possible. So first we have the Boolean, or known as bool. Now it's not even in comments. And what this is pretty much a true or false expression, and the memory that's used for that is just 1 byte. That's pretty much it. We're pretty much going to use those later in different tutorials. But next is the char, or character. And with the character, it's pretty much just one single character, just like it pretty much talks about. And this one has 2 bytes. Next we have the byte, which is pretty much just an integer, which has 1 byte. Next we have the short, we have long, we have the int, which we had talked about in our last tutorial. If you didn't see my last tutorial, we pretty much just had a program where we added, multiplied, and divided variables. And next is float, and of course the double, which we pretty much talked about. Short is another integer type. The short has 2 bytes. Oops. And same with the long, another integer, has 8 bytes. And if you want to just look at this, I'll probably send a link below, pretty much giving a table of the memory usage and the size range. So it's a lot easier to get familiar with it. Integer has 4 bytes, and float has 4 as well. And last, the double has 8 bytes. So that's pretty much it. A float and a double both are decimal values and floating point numbers, but I could just put that in the link below. Don't worry about it. So let's get started with a scanner. Pretty much what scanner is just the input from the user. And what we need to do before we start implementing into our main, we need to import java.util scanner. What this pretty much does is imports the Java utility that has a scanner so that we will be able to use it. So what we want to do is we want to call the scanner into our main method. So you go scanner, and once that's implemented, you have that in your main class, but you just need to give it a variable. I just like to call mine input. And what we need to do is call a new scanner with system.in, and you close your argument. So pretty much what this does, it calls a scanner input variable, and it makes a new scanner, which means system.in. So whatever the user inputs, it's going to be able to pretty much just see that someone is typing into our program. But we need to have our user type in something that we want. So what we want to do is system.out print line, and we want to call a string. We could just do enter your name, if I could type it right. And so what we want to do next, what this line does pretty much, in our past tutorials, it just says enter your name on the screen. And what we want to do next is we want to have a string take the input from the user and print it out. So what we do is have string, let's just call it name equals input dot next line. What input dot next line is, we take our input, which is our scanner, we take the input, and then whatever the user enters into the next line is what is going to be stored in our string name. So as you'll see, best way to describe it is just to show you. So if we do system.out.print line and we call name, we save that and we run it. It says enter your name down here, as you can see, and I'm going to just say LeBron James because that's who I am. And as you can see, we get LeBron James. Just to clean it up a bit, we could just enter a string, your name is, close brackets, or close the quotations. And when you're adding a variable, you want to add it with the addition sign. Save that, run it again. Enter your name, LeBron King James. Your name is LeBron King James, as you can see. And you can just play around with that, get used to it. It's pretty fun once you get the hang of it. And we could use this for a whole bunch of problems. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial about Scanner. Just play around with it, see how it is, have some fun. And in my next tutorial, we will pretty much be going over how Scanner can be used for other programs and applications. And yeah, so thank you, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.